Mate.
The night before the Kimonopunk Song Challenge, Jett, Vale and Niko roll up to the Punk Hotel, a chaotic masterpiece where tradition and rebellion collide in the most gloriously absurd way possible. From the outside, the building's a jumbled relic, a crumbling pagoda draped in rusted chains, strung with neon lights that buzz like angry wasps, flickering erratically. Posters of long-forgotten gigs cling to the facade, peeling away to reveal layers of graffiti scrawled in both Japanese kanji and English punk slogans, like tattoos inked into the hotel's weathered skin. In the courtyard, a massive cherry blossom tree stands defiantly, its once delicate petals sprayed with neon paint, twisted into shapes that look like 1,000 clenched fists punching up at the sky.
Jett Marlowe steps out first, her vividly dyed hair glowing under the erratic neon light as she surveys the scene with a mix of curiosity and excitement. She takes a moment, letting the chaotic energy wash over her.
Now this,
She mutters to herself, a smirk tugging at her lips.
is my kind of chaos.
She's a long way from the cobblestone streets of her small English town, where her explosive creativity was always at odds with the conservative surroundings. Here, in this electric fusion of punk and tradition, she feels like she might have finally found a place where she belongs. Inside, the vibe shifts from surreal to anarchic. The lobby is a riot of colours and textures, a place where the past and future smash together in a beautiful, chaotic mess. Crimson tatami mats stretch across the floor, their edges frayed and scorched, as if they've survived countless mosh pits. The walls are a canvas of rebellion, graffiti sprayed in jagged strokes, with words that blur the line between haiku and manifesto. Neon kanji flickers overhead, casting a sickly, pulsating glow that makes everything feel like it's vibrating to some invisible beat. Jett strides through the lobby, her combat boots clacking against the tatami, the sound sharp and purposeful. As she moves, her eyes meet those of Vale Sanchez, who's already inside taking in the scene. Vale's wearing a sleek, sky-blue kimono, but it's far from traditional. Punk patches and safety pins adorn the fabric, a perfect blend of her tango roots and rebellious spirit. When their eyes lock, there's a brief charged moment of mutual recognition, each understanding the fire that burns within the other.
You look like you stepped straight out of a dream I had.
Vale smirks, adjusting one of the safety pins on her kimono.
Funny, I was thinking the same about you.
She replies, her Argentinian accent adding a melodic lilt to her words. Recognition flashes in her eyes as she continues.
I got your set yesterday. Bridges, not walls. That's my call. Tearing down barriers, breaking the thrall. Punk's raw edge and kimono's grace. In this fusion, I find my place. You were incredible, Jett. The energy was off the charts. You're insanely talented.
Cheers, love. It was mental. Some of the best minutes of my life. Can't wait to get back on stage and tear it up again.
Niko Dimitriou enters just behind them, his tall frame moving with a calm, measured stride. He's wearing a black and yellow kimono with spikes on the shoulders, a nod to his past life as a basketball coach who stood firm on his principles, even when it cost him everything. As he takes in the chaotic beauty of the hotel, a flicker of a smile softens his usually stoic expression. Jett turns to him, hand already raised for a high five.
You must be Niko. Ready to make some noise?
Niko grins and meets her high five with a solid smack.
Hell yeah. Noise. And something more. This place, it's like it's daring us to do something unforgettable.
As he speaks, his eyes land on Vale and recognition lights up his face.
It's you. Vale, right? Thanks for yesterday. You rocking on stage, then telling me about that rooftop. Where I did my thing. It helped me find my way, in more ways than one.
Vale's face brightens in surprise.
Niko, I'm so glad to hear that. I didn't expect to see you here.
Jett glances between them, a knowing smile on her face.
Looks like we've all been lighting sparks for each other. This is going to be one hell of a show.
The reception desk looks like it was cobbled together from smashed guitars and rusted metal, with a life-sized mannequin slouched behind it, leering at them from behind cracked aviator sunglasses. The mannequin's dressed in a leather jacket studded with spikes and a shattered mirror kimono, throwing back distorted reflections that make it hard to tell if it's the mannequin sneering or the room itself. Behind it, battered vinyl records spin lazily on the wall, scratched to hell but still kicking out a beat you can almost hear if you listen hard enough, like the faint echo of a long-lost anthem. Vale runs a finger along the edge of the desk, feeling the rough texture beneath her touch.
This place has seen some things.
She says, her voice soft, almost reverent.
It's like it's waiting for us to add our own story to it.
Jett nods, her grin turning fierce.
And we will, starting tomorrow.
The trio exchanges introductions, their words quick and eager like sparks igniting a flame. It's clear they're kindred spirits, each driven by the need to express something raw and true, something that defies the expectations of their pasts. As they head toward the elevator, their voices blend with the jangling mix of rattling chains and faint bass lines echoing through the hotel.
Jett, her punk-infused British accent sharp and energetic, speaks with the urgency of someone who's always ready to dive headfirst into the next challenge. Vale, with her blend of elegance and intensity, lets her words flow with a rhythmic, melodic quality, her Argentinian accent adding a subtle poetic twist to every sentence. Niko, calm and reflective, lends a thoughtful, almost philosophical air to the conversation, his Greek accent giving weight to his musings on music, rebellion, and the journey that brought him here.
The elevator doors, scrawled with band names and anarchy symbols, slide open with a metallic groan. Inside, the buttons are replaced by a jumble of safety pins that glow with an eerie, unnatural light. The ride up is a jangling symphony of rattling chains and distant bass lines, setting the stage for the sensory overload waiting upstairs.
When they reach their rooms, it's like stepping into the eye of a storm. Everything's clashing, yet somehow it works. Shoji screens divide the space, their delicate paper panels torn and patched with band posters and bits of fishnet, transforming traditional scenes of samurais into punk warriors sporting mohawks and piercings. The futons are draped in tartan sheets, mismatched patterns that seem to challenge each other, yet find an uneasy truce in their discord. Jett drops her bag on the futon, glancing around with a nod of approval.
This is the kind of chaos I can get behind.
Vale smiles, settling onto her own futon with a graceful ease.
It's like a reflection of us, isn't it? All these different pieces, somehow coming together.
Niko leans against the wall, crossing his arms as he surveys the room.
Tomorrow we'll bring our own kind of order to it. On that stage, we make it ours.
As Jett, Vale, and Niko settle in, there's a shared understanding between them, an unspoken bond. The Punk Hotel is more than just a place to stay. It's a symbol of their journey, where the past and future can coexist in beautiful chaos. Tomorrow, they'll step onto the stage and bring that chaos to life, each of them ready to prove they belong, not just in this world, but in the one they're about to create. The Punk Zen Garden. Early the next morning, Jett, Vale, and Niko are roused by the soft scrape of a letter sliding under their door. Jett is the first to grab it, tearing it open with eager hands. The letter, scrawled in jagged handwriting, reads, "The day has arrived, the contest is on, but this is only the beginning. Hope you stick around if you're as good as we think you are. Breakfast is waiting at the Punk Zen Garden. Bloody enjoy." A smirk tugs at Jett's lips as she passes the letter to Vale and Niko.
Looks like we're in for a hell of a ride.
The trio heads out and soon finds themselves in the Punk Zen Garden, a mind-bending blend of serenity and anarchy. The gravel paths are meticulously raked, but instead of traditional straight lines, they twist into jagged lightning bolt patterns, zigzagging across the ground like chaotic energy captured in stone. Towering bamboo sways gently in the morning breeze, but each stalk is painted in neon stripes of pink and electric blue glowing faintly in the soft light. As they venture deeper into the garden, they spot a pond shaped like an anarchy symbol, its surface rippling as koi fish glide beneath. But these aren't ordinary koi. Their scales shimmer like vinyl records, catching the light and reflecting rainbows as they move, each fish a tiny living tribute to punk's rebellious spirit. The garden is a paradox, where calm and chaos coexist, each element challenging the other yet forming a strangely perfect harmony. Niko gazes at the scene, his expression thoughtful.
This place, it's like finding peace in the middle of a riot.
Vale nods, her eyes drinking in the vibrant colors.
It's like the garden's daring us to break the rules, even while we're here to find our balance.
Jett chuckles, running a hand through her brightly colored hair.
A perfect place to kick off the day, if you ask me.
As they round a corner, they're greeted by the sight of a low table set for breakfast, a punk-themed culinary masterpiece. Plates of neon-coloured pancakes are stacked high, drizzled with electric blue syrup that glows under the morning light. Bowls of fruit are dyed in every colour imaginable, with slices arranged into the shapes of band logos and anarchy symbols. There's even a toast station, where bread is branded with a skull insignia before being toasted to perfection. The centrepiece is a tea set, the teapot painted like a graffitied London phone booth, steaming with a rich dark brew that smells of rebellion. Vale laughs, taking it all in.
Leave it to this place to make breakfast an act of rebellion.
Jett grabs a plate and piles it high.
Hell yeah, let's bloody enjoy it.
Niko lifts a cup of the dark tea, his smile matching theirs.
Here's to today, whatever it brings.
With that, they dig in, each bite fueling them for the challenges ahead, ready to face whatever the day and the contest might throw their way. In the centre of the garden, the trio spots an old monk meditating beneath a neon-lit bonsai tree. His robes are a chaotic patchwork of kimono silk and leather jackets, his head shaved except for a vibrant mohawk that stands defiantly against the serene backdrop. As they approach, he opens his eyes, sharp and piercing, then offers them a riddle in the form of a haiku, spray-painted on a stone beside him.
Chaos and calm blend. Beneath neon skies we sit, rebellion breathes peace.
Without a word, the monk hands Jett a small prayer wheel, its surface studded with punk spikes and adorned with tiny charms. He gives it a spin, the soft whirring sound lingering in the air before he vanishes into thin air, leaving only the faint scent of incense and leather behind. Jett stares at the space where the monk had been, a mix of awe and confusion on her face.
Did we just get blessed by a punk monk?
Niko shakes his head, a grin spreading across his face.
If that doesn't scream Kimonopunk, I don't know what does.
Vale, still looking at the spot where the monk disappeared, adds with a smile.
Maybe it's a sign. Chaos and calm, rebellion and peace. We've got all the right ingredients.
Jett twirls the prayer wheel in her hand, feeling the weight of it, then tucks it into her pocket.
Whatever the day brings, I'm ready for it. Let's make the most of it and see where it takes us.
As the day progresses, Jett, Vale and Niko venture into the heart of Kyoto, where the Kimonopunk revolution is in full swing. Street vendors line the narrow alleyways, their stalls overflowing with punk-inspired kimonos, each one a bold statement of defiance. Traditional silk fabrics, now splashed with neon dyes, are embroidered with anarchist symbols and studded with safety pins, beckoning passers-by with an unmistakable edge. Young people with hair dyed in electric hues weave through the crowds, trying on these fusion garments, their excitement almost palpable. A group of teenagers in punk kimonos gathers around a street performer who is plucking out a gritty, electrified melody on a shamisen. The raw sound cuts through the air, drawing cheers from the crowd, their voices echoing off ancient stone walls. In every corner of the city, the old and the new collide, creating an electric atmosphere charged with the energy of rebellion. Vale.
Look at this, Jett. It's spreading. We're not just part of a contest. We're part of a movement that's changing everything.
This is bigger than us. This isn't just music, it's a revolution. And tonight we show them what it really means.
Niko, taking it all in, nods thoughtfully.
Everywhere you look, the old rules are being rewritten. It's like the city's heart is beating to our rhythm now.
As they walk deeper into the city, they encounter a flash mob of punk geishas, women in traditional kimono, but with faces painted in bold, rebellious makeup. They dance with fierce precision to the beat of taiko drums, mixed with the raw power of electric guitar riffs. With every spin, they toss confetti made of shredded zines and punk flyers into the air, transforming the street into a kaleidoscope of rebellion. Vale, eyes wide, takes in the scene.
Geisha's gone punk. This city is alive with revolution.
Jett, marveling at the sight, shakes her head in disbelief.
It's like watching history rewrite itself right before our eyes.
Arrival of Kaito. As they return to the punk hotel, the trio is greeted by the unmistakable presence of Kaito, a Japanese punk rocker who embodies the very essence of kimono punk. His aura is electric, a living paradox that commands attention. Draped in a traditional kimono over shredded jeans, Kaito moves with a casual confidence, a shamisen slung over one shoulder and an electric guitar over the other. His hair, a neon blue shock that defies gravity, stands tall as if challenging the sky itself, while his heavy boots stomp out a rhythm on the pavement that seems to pulse with the city's heartbeat. Kaito, his presence magnetic, looks at them with an assured smile.
I've heard a lot about you three. Let's make this contest unforgettable, yeah? I've got riffs that'll blow the roof off.
Jett, her eyes lighting up as she takes in Kaito's presence, grins wide.
Welcome to the revolution, Kaito. Together, we're not just rewriting the rules, we're shredding the rulebook. This is going to be epic.
Niko, nodding with a smirk playing at the corner of his lips.
Just when I thought this couldn't get any wilder. Let's make some noise Kyoto will never forget.
Vale steps forward, her gaze steady and full of determination.
Kaito, we're in this together. Let's turn this city upside down and make sure it never looks the same again.
As they stand together, the air crackles with the promise of what's to come. Kaito adjusts the strap of his guitar, the instrument glinting in the neon glow, and for a moment, the world feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for them to unleash something unstoppable. Kaito's eyes sweep over the trio, his grin widening.
This city isn't ready for what we're about to do. Let's go give them a show they'll never forget.
Jett, Vale, and Niko exchange a glance, a silent agreement passing between them. This isn't just about the contest anymore. It's about carving out their place in history. The revolution has arrived, and together they're going to make sure the world knows it. The Kimonopunk Song Challenge venue is a jaw-dropping collision of tradition and rebellion, a place where the old world and the new clash in the most spectacular way possible. The entrance is flanked by towering torii gates, each adorned with skulls that seem to grin mischievously, their eyes replaced with flashing LED lights. Lightning bolts are carved into the wood, glowing faintly, as if charged with the energy of the crowd. Inside, ancient wooden beams stretch toward the sky, but they're far from ordinary. Each beam is wrapped in barbed wire and strung with chains of broken records, which spin slowly above the crowd, catching the light and reflecting fragments of past rebellions. From the ceiling hang glowing origami cranes, each one folded from old punk zines, their edges sharp and precise, casting angular shadows that dance across the walls. Vale, her eyes wide with wonder, surveys the scene.
This place, it's like stepping into a dreamscape where tradition and anarchy collide. I can feel the anticipation in the air. It's electric, like the calm before the storm.
As he watches the performers, Niko spots one with a shamisen that's been modified with electric guitar strings, its body covered in graffiti. The performer plays a riff that echoes through the venue, blending the haunting tones of the shamisen with the raw power of punk.
This is it. Everything we've worked for, everything we've dreamed of, it all leads to this moment. We're standing on the edge of something huge.
Jett, eyes wide with excitement, takes in the venue, the graffiti artists spraying their final touches on a massive mural, the cherry blossoms glowing softly under neon lights. Above it all, a banner reads, Kimonopunk's Rising, its letters jagged and fierce, like a battle cry.
Let's give them a show they'll never forget. This is our stage, our revolution.
As they move closer to the stage, another surreal sight catches their attention. A performer in a kimono, covered entirely in spikes and safety pins, is being lifted above the crowd on a platform made of old vinyl records. The platform spins slowly, the records catching the light, and as the performer shreds on a guitar that shoots sparks into the air, the crowd goes wild, their cheers blending with the music in a cacophony of rebellion. The stage itself is set against a backdrop of cherry blossoms, but these are no ordinary blossoms. They're made of metal, each petal glowing softly under the neon lights. As the music swells, the petals begin to fall, clinking as they hit the stage, only to dissolve into glittering dust that's swept away by the pulsing bass. This isn't just a venue, it's a battleground of ideas, a place where the old world is being torn down and rebuilt in the image of rebellion. And Jett, Vale and Niko are ready to lead the charge. The contest kicks off, and the air is electric, thick with anticipation. The crowd is a wild, thrashing beast, pulsing with excitement and a raw hunger for something fresh, something real. Each performer that steps onto the stage ignites the atmosphere, turning the venue into a battleground of ideas, where music isn't just heard, it's wielded like a weapon. Every riff, every beat, every scream is a strike in the revolution, shaking the walls and challenging the very foundations of tradition. Jett strides onto the stage, her vividly dyed hair ablaze under the neon lights as she grips her guitar.
This is it. Every scream, every sneer, every moment I was told I didn't belong. This is my answer. They'll remember us after tonight. We're not just playing music, we're lighting the fuse.
The first notes of Rebel Thread slip through the venue like a fuse being lit, soft, teasing, before exploding into a fierce anthem that shakes the walls. Her voice, raw and relentless, rips through the air, every word a defiant challenge to the status quo. As she plays, her fingers fly across the strings, faster and harder with each chord, driven by pure fire and an unbreakable will. The crowd is hypnotized, their energy surging with every note, their cheers crashing into the music like a wild electric symphony. Want to hear the song? Well, here it is. Vale steps onto the stage with an ethereal grace, her sky-blue kimono glowing under the lights like something from another world. She moves with the fluidity of a tango dancer, elegant, yet with a dangerous, rebellious edge, her body swaying in perfect rhythm with the haunting melody she sings. And yes, she's wearing that Hayotoko mask, adding a touch of surreal mystery to her performance. But as she scans the crowd, her eyes lock onto a familiar figure, her father standing tall in an almost identical sky-blue kimono, emblazoned with the proud Argentinian sun. The sight stops her for a heartbeat, the past and present colliding in that brief moment. Then, with a swift, defiant gesture, she drops the mask, once and for all. No more hiding, no more holding back. She lets the tango pulse through her veins, mixing with the raw power of punk, her voice rising with a fierce intensity. The mask falls away, but the fire in her eyes burns brighter than ever as she fully embraces the performer she was always meant to be.
In every step, in every note, I'm breaking free. This is for every rule I was told I had to follow, for every boundary I was supposed to respect. Tonight they see me as I truly am, unbound, unstoppable.
Her song, I'll Never Hide, weaves tango rhythms with punk riffs, creating a hypnotic spell that pulses through the air. Each note is a bold, defiant declaration of her dual heritage, a statement that she refuses to be confined by tradition or expectation. Her performance becomes a symphony of rebellion, the fierce intensity of her voice rising with every verse, wrapping the audience in a web of raw emotion and unbridled passion. With every beat, she declares her truth, daring anyone to challenge her, and you know you want to hear it.
From the tango floors where I used to dance to the pop rock stage, taking a chance. They wanted me to fit, to stay in a line, but I found my voice, and now it's mine. Unmasked and unchained, I'm breaking free. In Kyoto streets, it's where I'm meant to be. Kimonopunk's my anthem, my battle cry. In every stitch and note, I'll never hide. They dressed me in silk, told me to smile, but inside I burned, felt out of style. Now I wear my kimono with pride, a blend of chaos and grace. I can't hide, unmasked and unchained, I'm breaking free. In Kyoto streets, it's where I'm meant to be. Kimonopunk's my anthem, my battle cry. In every stitch and note, I'll never hide. I'm not just a dancer, I'm a rebel heart, mixing the old with the new, tearing it apart. With every beat, with every line, I'm carving out a world that's truly mine. Unmasked and unchained, I'm breaking free. In Kyoto streets, it's where I'm meant to be. Kimonopunk's my anthem, my battle cry. In every stitch and note, I'll never hide. From Buenos Aires to Kyoto's light, I found my rhythm, I found my fight. In the blend of tradition and defiance, I stand tall, unmasked, in true alliance.
Niko steps up next, clad in his black and yellow kimono, the spikes on his shoulders catching the light.
Every loss, every setback, every time they try to silence me, it's all here, in these strings. This is my voice now, louder and stronger than it's ever been. Let them try to ignore us after this.
He grips his bass guitar, and the deep resonant strings thunder through the venue, each note heavy with grit and soul. His tune, Reclaiming My Crown, hits like a punch to the gut, a raw, unfiltered testament to the struggles he's conquered. Every riff tells a story of resilience, each chord a battle cry, echoing the chaos of his journey, the fights he's fought, and the victories he's claimed. The crowd sways to the pounding rhythm, their faces reflecting the raw emotion Niko pours into every beat, feeding off the intensity of his performance. And now, listen.
They took my game, tried to take my soul, but I'm not broken, I'm still whole. The cops through the streets, I found my way. With a bass in my hand, I got something to say. Rising from the ashes, I won't back down. In the heart of Kyoto, I reclaim my crown. Kimonopunk Song fire, and I'm the spark, lighting up the night, breaking through the dark. They could silence me, make me fall, but in the quiet I heard the call. From Greece to Japan, across the sea, this revolution's where I'm meant to be. Rising from the ashes, I won't back down. In the heart of Kyoto, I reclaim my crown. Kimonopunk Song fire, and I'm the spark, lighting up the night, breaking through the dark. I've seen the pain, but in this new world I'll rise again. With every note, with every chord, I'm feeling the future striking the chord. Rising from the ashes, I won't back down. In the heart of Kyoto, I'll reclaim my crown. Kimonopunk Song fire, and I'm the spark, lighting up the night, breaking through the dark. From the wreckage of the past, I found my sound. With Kimonopunk beside me, I'm standing proud. They can't take what I built, can't take my fight. I'm Niko, reborn in the neon lights.
The lights dim, casting the venue into darkness, and then a single spotlight illuminates Kaito. He strides onto the stage with a shamisen in one hand and an electric guitar in the other, his kimono a chaotic blend of traditional patterns and torn punk patches. He begins with the shamisen, plucking out a haunting melody that weaves through the crowd like a whisper from the past, a nod to the ancient spirits of Kyoto. Then, with a swift movement, he switches to his electric guitar, the melody morphing into a blistering punk riff that sends shockwaves through the crowd.
Kaito's performance is a masterclass in fusion, melding the old with the new, the delicate with the aggressive. His voice, raw yet controlled, carries lyrics that speak of rebellion, tradition, and the power of transformation. As he plays, the crowd is swept up in the intensity of his performance, their cheers growing louder with each note. The energy in the venue reaches a fever pitch, Kaito's music bridging the gap between past and future, east and west, calm and chaos.
In the streets where the neon lights burn, we're breaking the rules, it's our turn. Shadows we rise, no more disguise. We're the freaks, the misfits, the truth in your eyes. We're the Kimonopunk, you'll hear us say. We'll tear on the wall. walls will pave the way. A new evolution, a new kind of sound. In the heart of Kyoto, we're breaking ground. We're the Kimonopunk, and we're here to say we'll tear down the walls, we'll pave the way. A new revolution, a new kind of sound. In the heart of Kyoto, we're breaking ground. No lines to hold us in. We blend the cultures, we'll always win. From the east to the west, old and new collide. We're the ones who walk with pride. We're the Kimonopunk, and we're here to say we'll tear down the walls, we'll pave the way. A new revolution, a new kind of sound. In the heart of Kyoto, we're breaking ground. We're the Kimonopunk, and we're here to say we'll tear down the walls, we'll pave the way. A new revolution, a new kind of sound. In the heart of Kyoto, we're breaking ground. No more lies to hold us in. We blend the cultures, we'll always win. From the east to the west, old and new collide. We're the ones who walk with pride. We're the Kimonopunk, and we're here to say we'll tear down the walls, we'll pave the way. A new revolution, a new kind of sound. In the heart of Kyoto, we're breaking ground. We create without fear, without permission. This is our art, our true vision. From kimono threads to electric strings, we're the rebels, the kings and queens. We're breaking ground. To the future, we pass the flame. This is more than a trend, it's more than a game. Kimonopunks rise and we won't be tamed. In the streets of Kyoto, we've made our name.
The performances leave the crowd breathless, minds buzzing from the sheer intensity of what they've just witnessed. As the final notes hang in the air, everyone in the audience knows they've been part of something transformative, a moment that will reverberate through the streets of Kyoto and beyond. The Kimonopunk revolution, brought to life by these four trailblazers, is now an unstoppable force, ready to smash through the boundaries of art, culture, and identity. Back in their hotel room, the trio collapses onto the tartan-covered futons, the adrenaline slowly fading, leaving behind a mix of exhaustion and elation. The weight of what they've accomplished starts to sink in, each of them replaying the night's events in their minds. Jett, eyes bright with realization.
This is everything we dreamed of. It's not just about the music anymore, it's about changing the world.
Vale, her voice steady with conviction.
And we're right at the center of it. The revolution is real, and it's only getting started.
Niko, with quiet determination.
Let's keep pushing. This is our time, our moment. The world's watching now, and we're just getting started.
Jett, still catching her breath, lets out a disbelieving laugh.
We did it, we really did it.
Vale, her eyes still wide with awe.
I've never felt anything like that before. The energy, the connection with the crowd, it was like nothing else.
Niko, his voice calm but resolute.
This is just the beginning. Tonight we showed the world what Kimonopunk is all about.
They sit in reflective silence, the echoes of the performances still ringing in their ears like distant thunder. Outside, the city hums with life, the Kimonopunk movement spreading like wildfire through the streets. By the next morning, the Kimonopunk revolution is inescapable. Social media pulses with clips of the performances, hashtags raging across feeds, while news channels buzz with reports of the cultural shockwave tearing through Kyoto. Fans around the world are unleashing their own Kimonopunk-inspired creations, graffiti-splashed kimonos, thrashing guitar riffs fused with traditional shamisen, art that screams defiance. The revolution isn't just spreading, it's detonating. In Tokyo, a fashion designer rebels against the runway, debuting a line of Kimonopunk couture that blends silk and safety pins, neon-drenched obi belts and combat boots. Across the Pacific, a legendary punk band in LA, rips into a set, shredding with koto strings and taiko drums, turning their show into a sonic battleground where East meets West in a riot of sound.
But the shockwaves don't stop there. Deep in the Amazon, a tribe holds their first Kimonopunk festival, where ancient rituals clash with distorted punk anthems blasted from solar-powered amps, their tribal dance steps mingling with thrashing mosh pits under a canopy of neon-drenched leaves. In New Delhi, the streets explode with color as dancers in Kimonopunk gear hijack traffic with impromptu battles, Bollywood rhythms twisted with punk beats, the air thick with adrenaline and anarchy. And in the icy silence of Antarctica, researchers throw the world's first Kimonopunk ice rave, neon lights cutting through the endless night as they shred guitars made from frozen blocks and dance in samurai-styled parkas under a sky that flickers like a punked-out aurora. Kimonopunk isn't just a movement, it's a global insurgency, smashing through the boundaries of art and culture in places no one expected, rewriting the world with every beat, every brushstroke, every scream.
We are the Story Brothers, and we invite you to join us on an extraordinary journey into the world of storytelling and AI. Together, we'll delve into an endless sea of stories, ideas, and topics, pushing the boundaries of imagination with the power of generative AI. Our mission? To see just how far we can take these tales. Intrigued? If you like what you hear, please share our adventure. Got requests or feedback? Don't be a stranger. We'd love to hear from you. Cheers to new beginnings and endless possibilities.